Welcome you all. In this session, let us see thermal relays. So thermal relays are the relays which utilize the electrothermal effect of the actuating current for their operation. So these are widely used for the protection of small motors against overloading and against unbalance in the currents. So this thermal element is basically a bimetallic strip. You can observe here, this is a bimetallic strip. Usually it is wound into a spiral to obtain a greater length, which results in a good sensitivity. So a bimetallic element, as the name indicates, it consists of two metal strips, okay, of different coefficients of thermal expansion which are joined together. So when it is heated up, one strip expands more than the other because those two have different thermal coefficients. So it results, what it happens when it gets heated up, the bimetallic strip will bend. Okay, so the thermal element, we can heat it directly by passing the actuating current through the strip. But usually we use a heater coil for it. So when the bimetallic element heats up, it bends and deflects, thereby it closes the relay contacts. So for the ambient temperature compensation, we use a dummy bimetallic element that is shielded from the heater coil and is designed to oppose the bending of the main bimetallic strip. So when the strip is in the spiral form, it results in the closure of the contacts. So if this is the spiral form of the strip, okay. Whereas we have one more which is unimetallic strips. So you can see here, this is a unimetallic strip which is also a thermal element which has a hairpin like shape. So when the strip gets heated, it expands and closes the contacts. So for the protection of three-phase motor, three bimetallic strips are used. So they are energized by the currents from the three phases. So their contacts are arranged in such a way that if one of the spiral moves differently from the other due to an unbalance which exceeds 12%, their contacts meet and cause the circuit breakers to trip. So these spirals also protect the motor against overloading. So we use thermocouples and resistance temperature detectors which are also used for the protection purpose. So in the case of protection of a large generator, we use such elements in the place of stator slots. So the element, either the thermocouples or the resistance temperature, it forms an arm of a balancing bridge. So in the normal condition, the bridge is balanced. When the temperature exceeds a certain limit, the bridge becomes unbalanced. So the out of balance current energizes a relay which trips a circuit breaker. So next we'll see the auxiliary relays, auxiliary switch and the flag. We have an auxiliary relay. Why auxiliary relay is required? So whenever we have an additional relay in addition to the main protective relay, we call that as an auxiliary relay. So that is required for a number of important operations. Say the protective relay, it performs the task of measurement and under the required condition it closes its contact. So in once it doesn't perform the operation as tripping, time lag, breaking of trip circuit current, giving alarm, etc. So these duties will be performed by the auxiliary relays. So auxiliary relays repeat the operation of the protective relays as well as control switches. So repeat contact and auxiliary switches are also used to assist the protective relays. So the reason for using the auxiliary relays are first thing is protective relays are delicate and light in weight. and they are not capable of carrying the large current for a long period. Next is the protective relays do not have enough contacts to perform all the duties required in a protective scheme. So the commonly used auxiliary relays are, first one is the seal-in relay. Seal-in relay is nothing but an auxiliary relay which is used to protect the contacts of a protective relay. So once the protective relay closes its contacts, the seal-in relay will be energized. So its contacts bypass the contacts of the protective relay. It closes and seals the circuit while the tripping current flows. So it also gives an indication by showing a flag. If it is nothing but an instantaneous relay which operates on the attracted armature principle. Next one is time lag relays. Time lag relays, as the name indicates, it operates after a preset time lag. So they are used in protection schemes as a means of time discrimination. For example, nothing but a time graded system. So they are also used in control and alarm circuits to allow time for the required sequence of operation to take place. Next is alarm relays. Alarm relay, it gives both an audible and visual indication. So at a substation, it is required to provide a trip alarm and one non-trip alarm which is common to the whole substation. So in the control room of the generating station, there is a trip alarm and non-trip alarm. For both this, there should be a separate primary circuit, as well as there should be an provision for alarm cancellation by pressing a button. So the alarm circuit is interrupted on pushing this button. So when the relay is de-energized, the initiating contact of the cancellation mechanism will be reset so that it can receive another alarm. Next is repeat contractors. So repeat contractor, it repeats the operation of a protective relay. So it is sometimes needed because a protective relay may not have a sufficient number of contacts. So it may also be required to take over the operation from the initiating relay if the contacts of the latter one are not designed for carrying current for a long period. So the repeat contractors, they operate on the principle of armature, attracted armature principle. So it might be connected either in series or in parallel with the relay. So it contains a number of contacts which are placed in parallel. So next is flag or a target. So whenever the relay operates, we should have an indication, right? So the flag is used to indicate on the operation of the relay. So when on a relay panel, there are several relays where the flag indicates that whether the relay has operated or not. So this helps the operator to know the cause of the tripping of the circuit breaker. So this flag is also called as a target or indicator. So its coil will be usually connected in series with the trip coil of the circuit breaker. So the resetting of the flag indicator is usually manual. So there is a button or a knob outside the relay close to the reset flag indicator. So a reset flag indicator may be either electrical or mechanical. In a mechanical flag indicator, the movement of the armature of the relay pushes a small shutter to expose the flag. Next is auxiliary switch. So the auxiliary switch is connected in series with the trip coil circuit. So it is mechanically interlocked with the operating mechanism of the circuit breaker so that the auxiliary switch opens when the circuit breaker opens. The opening of the auxiliary switch prevents unnecessary damage or drainage of the battery. So when the trip coil of the circuit breaker is energized, it actuates the mechanism of the circuit breaker which causes the operating force to come into action to open the circuit breakers. So this is all about the thermal relays. Thank you.